and welcome to the Sailing My Magic channel. My name is Duke and I am solo sailing Magic, my 2015 Lagoon Catamaran, around the world. I left Zona Island in the Solomons and I'm heading for Tagua, and that's about 300 miles off the coast of Papua New Guinea. Yesterday I got hit by two pretty big squalls. The first one, it was like fire hoses hitting the boat, knocked out all my instruments. I got most of them working. I did not get the anemometer, the wind gauges working. So right now I'm using the old-fashioned way on a wind gauge. Dawn of the 12th day since I left Vanuatu. This total passage is 2,800 miles. I've done about 1,200 so far, so about 1,600 left to go. There's a storm coming up, actually 3 of them. I'm slowing the boat down so I can let 2 storms go past, and then the other boat's going to cut east. I'm going to hit part of it, but I put 2 reefs in each of the sails to make it go through the storms better, and I'm off and running. The dinghy keeps filling up with water. When I arrived in Darwin, Australia, I was curious as to see its current state. People don't realize that during World War II, actually February 1942, the Japanese bombed Darwin. They sent over 4 aircraft carriers to bomb Darwin, and then when those were finished bombing, they sent over a flight of land-based bombers. They sunk 17 ships there around Darwin, and that wasn't the only time. They actually bombed Darwin 111 times. It was a mess. They do have a very nice sailing club in Fanny Bay, Darwin. Right next door, there's also the Trailer Boat Club, which is also very nice. Caters to a different type of boat. And the sea here goes way out, big tides, but it's a beautiful location. Lots of people you can see are just anchoring out there and then taking their dinghy into shore. There were 262 Japanese planes versus 31 planes by the Australians, but they're a tough lot, and they rebuilt and they put in a museum that I wanted to see. The problem was the museum is at the end of the East Point Peninsula and I was at the other end. The quickest way was to go through the forest. Taking a shortcut through the woods to reach the Darwin Military Museum. Of course, I've never been here before, and my cell phone had no reception, but I'm used to looking at the sky to see where I'm supposed to be going. The Monsoon Forest Trail. There are wallabies at dusk and dawn, but they hide from dogs during the daytime. I knew I was getting close when I saw this artillery piece outside, and also this USMC, that's United States Marine Corps Jeep. It's in pristine condition, and when you come around the back of it and look at the bumper, it says VMF 243. That's a Marine fighter unit, but it's noted it has left-hand drive. In the lobby, they show the Australian Army summer uniform. The problem that Japan had is they have virtually no natural resources. No oil, very few minerals, no metals. So there was a video that showed how before World War I, Japan invaded and took over Manchuria, Korea, and Taiwan. One anomaly at the museum was this Portuguese cannon, which predates all the English exploration. It's a real contrast to a modern mortar. The second bombing of Darwin is even worse than the first. When you go up these stairs, you get to a thing with the big gun emplacement here. A big gun like that has a range of about 26 miles. And it's good for stopping an infantry invasion, but useless for stopping the planes on an aircraft carrier. So they had to get inventive, and this is one of the ways. It's an armored rocket launcher that gave them extra range that the big guns on the emplacements did not have. 2-pound anti-tank gun, 17-pound anti-tank gun with the muzzle brake on the end. Bohr's 40mm anti-aircraft gun. Another towed artillery piece, but much bigger. Looks like a coastal artillery piece. This is a rangefinder from 1920. Fire control system. This is the analog computer for controlling the guns. Land Rover anti-tank vehicle. It looks like a recoilless rifle on it attached to it. An ambulance. (1942) Willys Jeep. In the Korean War, the U.S. Army was mostly using leftovers from World War I and World War II, so they look very similar. They had different iterations of the Lee Enfield rifle, which was the primary rifle used by all the English colonies during World War II. Australian World War I Imperial Air Force uniform. This flag is from the 12th Squadron Royal Australian Air Force flag, and it was flying at the time of the February 19, 1942 bombing of Darwin. They didn't have enough of the more modern anti-aircraft guns. The Navy had even less. One of the first huge explosions during the bombing was a Japanese bomb that took out the ammo supplying ship for the Navy. Also on East Point is the Aero Modelers Club, which is for remote control airplanes. And what they've done is they've invited aircraft and helicopters. They've made their own little airport there. It's quite elaborate. And again, we have the wallabies that come out in the dawn and dusk. But please go ahead and click on like and subscribe. It's free and it helps. And now it's time for the Sailor's Delight Sundowners.